Katie's crazy.
I own it, too.
Somebody just farted.
Here we go.
I think when you... Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob.
I'm Dad.
We got two Bobs at the table tonight. We're in Leland, North Carolina. We're on Facebook Live right now.
My hair is a hot mess.
Yeah, your hair is a hot mess.
You should have warned me, because it's pretty bad.
Mine too.
So I thought we would kick this one off with the phone call that grandmother got this past week.
Amazing.
So tell me exactly what happened, because I was at work when it went down.
You first?
I got a phone call from your mom, and she was asking me if I had talked to you, when I would be talking to you, because you needed to call your grandma. And then she proceeded to tell me the story, which your dad can probably tell you. I think it just stopped.
I am not good at Facebook Live and recording at the same time, huh?
What did you do?
I don't think I hit end. Okay, so tell us the story.
So, anyway, your grandmother calls and she says, did BJ go out of town this weekend? Past weekend? And I'm like,
And
yeah.
we had, yeah.
Yeah. I said, yeah.
Coincidentally.
And she said, and he went out of state? And I'm like,
And we had.
miles over the border. So, yeah, he did. She said, well, you need to call him and talk to him because I think he's in a little trouble. I was like, what?
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And just so everyone's clear, I'm BJ in this story. So, all right, keep going.
So and I said, what are you talking about? It says, well, he calls me and tells me that he's in jail and he needs money. And he's in Chicago. I'm like, I don't think that's, no, I don't think, you got this all wrong. And she said, well, anyway, she got this call, somebody trying to scam some money out of her and said that they were said it was, that they were her grandson.
Never use my name.
No. And,
Nice.
and needed $500 to get out of jail. He had been in the cab and the cab was pulled over. They found drugs in the cab and the cab driver blamed it on the fare, which happened to be her grandson.
Which she thought was you.
Yeah. First name she said came to her mind was you. And I'm like,
well, see, that's okay.
Why? You know,
That's when your mom told me that. Like, she called me back and said, no, the guy didn't use your name. He just said grandson, and the first person she thought about was you. I laughed.
Yeah,
and I said, well, now we know who she thinks is the most likely to go to jail. And then your mom didn't laugh. And I was like,
right.
Right. So
bad joke.
if any of,
I was like, oh no, she didn't laugh.
Yeah.
if any of our siblings go to jail and we don't know who it is, everybody's pointing the finger at me. It must be Bob. Bob's going to jail.
Bob's
he
going
done
to
did
jail.
It
something.
had to have been Bob in
He
jail.
put all the drugs in the cab.
Right.
So then you call your grandma
Oh yeah, I called her
that
for sure.
evening after you got home from work. I witnessed that conversation. That was fun.
Well, I called her and, I asked her, I was like, so you weren't going to get me out of jail? And she said no. She was like, I'm not paying that money.
Yeah.
You need to call your daddy.
Yeah.
That's what she said to me.
At the end of the conversation, you jokingly asked her, so you said, so grandma, if I ever go to jail, can I call you to bail me out? She said, nope, you better call your daddy.
Better call your dad.
She said, you got yourself in there, you get yourself out.
Yeah.
It was great.
Tough love, man.
It was great.
Tough love. You just happened to be the first one that came to her mind when one of the siblings get in trouble.
Well,
you hoodlum.
You grew up with these people.
Yeah.
Grandmother, grandfather, your mom and dad.
Tough
So
love.
what tough love experiences did you get from them?
I never got to go anywhere without them asking thousands of questions. Who, where, when you coming back, where you going? Is there a number I can be reached at?
And that was back when you had like rotary phones, right?
Right.
And you had to hit zero and talk to the
It was
operator.
in the 70s. I think they still had tobacco in drawstring bags, but I'm not sure. But
In a drawstring bag? What are you talking about?
that was a long time ago, right? Drawstring bag, tobacco. That's a Clint Eastwood movie type stuff. But yeah, they were pretty tough. Strict. Dad was in the Air Force, so everything was up and going on. You didn't lay around, sleep half the day. There was none of that kind of stuff, so.
Well, he would look out for you though, because I remember you guys telling me the story about what was it? You were driving the car one night or something and ran into a sign.
Yeah.
At a was it a fast food restaurant
Yeah,
or?
well, it was the truck, and I was supposed to take a right, and I took a left.
How does that, 'cause I mean, I can understand if Katie does that, cause she has such a hard time with her.
I'm
You what?
terrible.
Back in the day.
I'm terrible. I'll go right, and I'll be pointing left.
Right? Well, back in the day, it's called 3 sheets in the wind, and when I took that right, I should have took or when I took the left, I should have took a right.
3 sheets. So you were drunk.
Kinda.
How are you kinda drunk?
Yeah. I was still driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That makes you, when you drive, that makes you a little less drunk. That's the logic we're going with right
How
now.
old were you when this took place? Like, how many years
20.
ago?
I was 20.
You were
so that's
20.
35 years ago. 21, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had been driving for a while. It was just a weird situation. So anyway, I called him. I said, look, I need a wrecker and I need a ride home. So my dad comes out, and so anyway, he takes care of that. And we get ready to leave, and I look across the street, and there's a highway patrolman sitting across the street.
The whole
Never
time?
came over. Yeah, never came over there. Never
How does
came
that
over.
happen?
I don't know. But he never came
What
over.
was he doing
So-
that he did not come and check out the situation?
Wait.
And that
So,
that Cindy sign stayed down for years.
yeah.
Years. You could go by there, and that same sign
I
was
seen
still
it.
down.
It was 35 years ago, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
But here's my problem. There was a cop, right?
Yeah.
That probably saw all of this going down.
Probably.
And never
Never.
once came over.
Nope.
So, Katie, tell us about your cop experience from this past weekend. Putting you on the spot there, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Really? So you didn't talk to any cops in the past couple days?
Oh!
I think Facebook Live is making her nervous.
I forgot. I didn't know what you were talking about. I was like, I didn't get pulled over or anything. No, I was illegally picnicking.
Illegally
picnicking.
picnicking.
That's it. That's the bottom of the ladder
So
stuff.
we
there.
had a group of us.
Okay.
Me, your mom, your sister, Wayne's lady, and all of
Did you forget her name?
our children. No, Angel.
Okay.
Well, I was like,
Wayne's
I
lady.
almost said wife, girl, and his woman, Angel, and all of our children. We had quite a group. And we were sitting in the grass having a picnic. Well, the location we were at, it is apparently state-owned property, and you have to have a permit to use it to sit your butt on the grass and eat a sandwich. And anyway, we're sitting there, and we were one of 3 groups at the time we were there that were having a picnic. Anyway, we hear something like a loudspeaker. We're like, what is that? What is that? We see a cop talking to somebody down there.
Through a loudspeaker?
Yeah, like in the car. Like there's.
So
a
he
speaker in
didn't
the
even
car.
get out of
No,
the
he
car?
didn't get out of the car.
He was using the PA.
So like then he
Picnickers,
pulled-
please get off of the grass, picnickers.
Oh my
So he's
gosh.
down at the group farthest from us. We were the last. We were the third. He kind of went in line.
Okay.
We were the third. So he's talking to the first people, and we couldn't see what was going on, and we couldn't understand what he was saying. Then he pulls up to the second group, which we could see, but we still couldn't clearly understand what he was saying. We're like, is he making them leave? What's going on? Then he pulls up to us. So by this time, he has our undivided attention already. And he pulls up, and he's like, you almost done? And we were. And, that's when he proceeded to tell us we couldn't be there. We couldn't have a picnic. So he's like, he asked if we were almost done. And then he's like, this is state-owned property. You can't have a picnic here. You gotta pack it up and go. I mean, he was nice about it, but we were like, really? And then I guess we weren't moving fast enough. And he turns around and he parks and he just watches. He just watches us to make sure that we get up and leave.
So how does the state purchase property like that? Where does that money come from? Did they purchase that taxes?
Yeah,
I'm
your
assuming-
mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Your mom said, well, we pay taxes. So
That should,
we should be able.
we should have a
we pay
permit. If
taxes
you
to
pay
the
your
state.
taxes, you keep a copy of that. That should be your permit, right? At the end of
Right?
the year,
You would
just,
think so,
hey, see
but-
this? Where I paid my taxes. That
I
should
guess
be
the local law enforcement does not
a permit
see it
deal.
that way.
I
I was like,
don't know.
boy, we're rebels.
So circling back around, you get drunk as a 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So underage drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And driving.
You take a right instead of a left, crash your car into public property,
Mhm.
damage it.
Right.
The cop sitting across the street, most likely sleeping through all of this, and nothing happens.
Nothing.
But you
I
sit
didn't
on
even
the
have to pay
grass
the record bill.
and start eating the sandwich, and the cop
Kicks us
loses
out.
his mind.
Right. He runs the whole crowd out.
That's fun.
Oh my
That is fun.
gosh.
That is
So-
Katie luck, is what that's called.
I guess, man. Well, like, before we could even get completely packed up, loaded in the cars and leave, there was more groups that he was kicking out. And I was like, he is going to spend all day telling people they can't have a picnic over there. Like, what kind of, that's sad. What kind of day is that in your life? You're like, you get home and you know, I'm sure his wife's going to be like, so honey, how was your day? He's gonna be like, I had to kick picnickers out all day long.
I was telling you earlier today that the area you were in is a Civil War site.
Mm-hmm.
Not giving excuses to them running.
Yeah, I'm
families
sure
off,
that's
but,
why they're...
when I
picky
retire, I'm going to invent a metal detector that I can put in my shoe. And
Yeah, because
so I can go out there and just
you
hang
can't go
around
metal detecting out there, right?
and wave my leg around. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, because I'm sure that
metal
won't
detector and shit.
I'm sure that won't draw attention at
Right,
all.
exactly. So I told him that's what I was going to do when I retire. I was going to go out there and try to metal detect. But
You probably wouldn't get robbed or anything. People are like, mm-mm.
Yeah, something's wrong with him. Something's wrong with his leg. Look at his leg.
Well, he hasn't.
That dude is waving his
he's got something
foot
wrong
back
with
and forth. What is
So-
he
He hadn't lost his appetite. God
Yeah,
bless him.
Yeah. So, that's pretty funny.
Does he have Tourette's?
Yeah, when we were on the
I don't
way
think
back,
Tourette's makes you kick your feet around, does it? That's like a
it
talking
could.
thing, isn't it?
Well, it makes you have, like, ticks, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like at this point we've offended somebody.
probably. If you throw ants on your leg, just like and be kicking around, you know, maybe somebody comes up.
Well, it's kind of like spiderweb
Yeah.
karate.
Right.
There you go. So if that cop comes up to kick you out of there,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine, officer. I just ran into a spider.
Right. Just don't touch him.
I'll be on my way out soon.
Every step you take.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Beep, 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 beep.
So I even drove home with my dad that morning.
Okay.
4:30 in the morning, and he said, "Well, what you gonna do about the truck?" And I said, "Well, I guess when we get home and I sleep a little while, I'll get up in the morning," not realizing it was already morning, and I had to be at work in like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I'm gonna call a wrecker to come get it." He said, "Well, I've already called the wrecker. The wrecker's getting the truck, and they're gonna take it to the house." And I said, "Okay." And I don't think he ever made me pay a wrecker bill or anything. Matter of fact, I didn't even have to pay to have the truck fixed. It was a 3-speed and the transmission was busted, had a hole in it. That's why I wouldn't go nowhere, because when I run over that sign, it kicked the concrete thing up that
Yeah.
it was pulled on, and it poked a hole in the transmission. So. But, nothing was said. And we were driving away, and I seen the cop. That's when I seen the cop, and he was sitting across the street in a parking lot. So he either was asleep, like you said, which I don't think he was, but he could have been. But he watched the whole thing unfold.
Yeah. Just sitting there like, oh, God.
Yeah, I don't want to do this paperwork. I'm not going to mess with this kid. I'll let him go.
My shift's almost over. I do not
right.
want to do this.
Out of sight, out of
4:30 in the
mind.
morning, so
Yeah.
it's a good possibility.
His dad's got it under control. He's
Yeah.
probably going to get a whooping when he gets home.
But I have never, ever been run out of a park for picnicking.
Illegal picnicking.
Illegal picnicking.
That's out of control.
Right?
I'm a rebel, baby.
Did you guys see any bears?
No.
At the beach.
At the, what?
Yeah,
We were
at
near the beach.
They were at the beach.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if
But
it
I
was
could
like a
think- I guess
bear
it could be
picnic
bear beach.
situation.
After our picnic
beach?
basket.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool still. So you got my wife down there and my grandkids and all that and almost get them locked up, huh?
I know.
Okay.
I'm a horrible influence. Horrible. I about had to call your grandma to come get us out of jail.
Oh, she wouldn't have come.
Oh, yeah. She's not going to give us any money to get out of jail.
Oh, gosh.
That ship has flown.
Yes, it has. And she even said that the IRS had called her and told her if she didn't send them $1,000, they were going to come and have her locked up.
That has been happening a whole lot lately. For anybody out there, that's not how the IRS works.
Mm-mm.
The IRS at the beginning of the year, they go, hey, you owe us this amount of money. And then you may or may not get a letter saying, hey, you still owe us this amount of money.
Right.
They will they won't call you. This is what they will do. They will show up at your house and take stuff. And then somebody goes, you didn't quite have enough stuff, so now we're going to take you. They don't ever call. They don't let you know they're coming, and they're not going to pay anything over the phone. That's your responsibility. You pay it, and if you don't, your things disappear. And if you're like me and you don't got a lot of expensive things, then you disappear.
Right.
That's how it works. And you're not going to be throwing the tea into the water. There's no rebellion. None of that thing's happening. You're going to get arrested, And if you do anything other than no, sir, yes, sir, officer, you're going to be on your stomach with a knee in your back. So now
IRS.
you're going to jail and your face is all bruised up, your back's sore, but not one time during this whole situation did anybody call you and say, we want you to pay us over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
They're not begging for it. They're just going to come and take what's theirs. But the streets work, so there's that.
Yeah. Well, they say there's only 2 things you have to do, and that's die and pay taxes. So.
Yep.
Well, there's a couple things I'm going to have to do or I might explode.
Oh.
It's our show. We got to go there at least once, right?
Every time. Every time.
So there's a story I want you to tell. And I don't know if, Katie, if you've ever heard this one. There's a lot going on in the background. What was that?
I don't know. I was waiting for more information.
Is everything okay? That wasn't a very convincing yeah. You have my children.
Yes, you don't. They're somewhere else.
Okay, so...
Riley's gonna show up with like a mom tattoo.
Oh, yeah, he better not. The story about your brother, my uncle, ending up in the bathtub.
Oh,
I want that story.
Summer day, him and a friend of his were out riding a bike.
And how old was he when this happened?
He's
I've heard this story before, but yeah, how old?
He's 10th grade.
So he was young.
11th grade, yeah. He's 15, 16, 15, 16, somewhere around there. And they're out riding motorbikes in the summer. And they go by his friend's uncle's house. And lo and behold, the country song that says, there might be a little dust on the bottle, but what the wine inside, whatever that song is. Well, they found some muscadine wine that his uncle had, and they commenced to drinking that in 90, 110 degree weather. So by the time he gets home,
that makes my stomach hurt just thinking about it.
His bike is in the driveway. He
Okay.
never makes it all the way to the house. So the bike is laying in the driveway about 75 yards from the front door. And he comes in the door and he doesn't say, hey, me and my mom was there. And he goes straight to the back room and lays down. So, of course, being the brother that I am, I'm like, Mom, something's up with Roger. And she goes back there and checks him and I hear her and loud. And I go back there and she's dragging him out of the bedroom.
Oh, no.
And he's going, come on, man. Come on, man. That's all he could say. Come on, man. God. And she drags him to the bathroom, throws him in the tub, and turns the shower on.
It makes her sound like such a Hulk. Get in the shower.
You know?
Because she's such a tiny little lady.
She is.
She's so
petite.
tiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's screaming, come on, man. Come on, man. That's all he come out. And you can smell the wine. You can smell. It's not an alcohol smell. You can tell it's a wine stinking. Oh, my gosh. And she grabs him by his shirt and commenced to slapping him and tells him, if you say man one more time, I'm tearing you up. And she's tearing him up while she's telling him this, smacking him around in the tub.
The power of Christ compels you.
It was great. Because I'm enjoying it. You know, I'm not in trouble this time, right? It's him. So,
as the older brother, I'm sure I can see I'm the oldest sibling. I understand
it's kind of cool when the little ones get whacked on every once in a while and it's not the older ones, you know? So
giggling under your breath a little bit.
Kinda. And it was, anyway, he had gotten to that wine on a hot summer day and it just treated him really bad.
Oh,
and then, but when he got home, and all he wanted to do was go to sleep. So if we'd have left him alone, actually, he could have slept through it. Dad would have never been the wiser.
So he found out.
Oh, of course he did. You know, Mama told him as soon as he walked in the door.
Oh, that's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah, you need to go back there and check on your younger son. He's been drinking today.
I remember, I don't remember any of the incidents and what happened, but I remember that I would do something and Mom would be upset about it. And I'd be like, okay, well, whatever. And then you would get home and she'd go, let's go talk. And y'all would go in the bedroom.
You were sweating, huh?
I was like,
sweating bullets.
Come on, man. Why? Why even take him back there? Right. It's over. This happened 3 hours ago. It's done. I remember one time I did something, and to this day I can't remember what it is, but I knew I was going to get beat. I was like, I am going to get beat. And he comes out, y'all, my mother's standing in the background watching us right now. You take him in the bedroom, and when he comes out, he sits down, he goes, come here, and just does that finger thing, and I'm like, I'm already crying. Nothing's happened. Nobody's touched me. I'm just, and I sit down. And I think you go, you know you weren't supposed to do that. I know. And that was it. Like, I didn't get spanked or nothing, but it was the most horrible thing I've ever sat through in my life.
It's mental punishment.
Right.
You done punish yourself.
I've always wondered why we as kids have to have that 2 times talk. Why can't the mom just take care of that? Why does she have to let dad know about it when he gets home and you go through this twice?
Well, that's because
we always did.
Mom would spank me and it would hurt her hand and I would laugh about it. And I think that was the turning point. That was when it stopped being mom taking care of things. Cause it wasn't always that way. You know, Mom used to punish us. We, get spankings, get our hands popped, whatever. And it was what it was. But as we got bigger, it didn't hurt so much anymore. And I made the mistake one time of laughing while I was getting spanked. I was, and then she told Daddy when Daddy came home.
So
let's wait till your father gets home.
Well, no, I just from my own personal mothering experience, children act different for moms than they do for dads.
Oh yeah.
Children, when it comes to moms, they don't hold back.
Mm-mm.
They let moms have it. They let their true colors show. Dads, I don't know. They seem to mind their P's and Q's a little better. I don't know. I know that's how it was in our household growing up. Cause my mom stayed home with us. We were with her all day, every day. Well, except for while we were at school. Dad worked. So when Dad was home, it was, we were, I'm not going to say on our best behavior. We were on our better behavior.
I know you and your family. And there was never a point where you guys were on your best behavior.
That's what we were talking about. I was the perfect angel.
Well, sometimes you separate yourself from dad too. I noticed I did when I was younger, So I would just go the other way. When he got home, I was in one end of the house, he was in the other end of the house, but I was with Mom most of the time too. And yeah, we did treat her different than we treated when he was there. Even we treated her different when he was there. So
now, was it him that made you ride the bike around the house?
No, that was Roger again.
That was Roger.
Poor Roger.
Yeah. Was he drunk?
No. That Roger, just like today, he speaks his mind. Whatever comes there.
Oh, yeah.
There's no etiquette. There's no thought process. When it comes to that palate, it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that day, it was just Dad told him to do something, and Roger said, well, right now I'm doing something else, and I'll get to that when I get to it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So, of course, Dad being an Air Force guy, when he give you something to do, he expected
we'll call it orders.
To be done.
We'll
right?
say orders.
Right?
These are orders.
Yeah. But he did it in a tactful way.
Mm-hmm.
And
gunshots. 4th of July.
That's what he expected. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And then, of course, he got a plum bush limb. And there's thorns on the plum bush.
Okay.
And he whipped him with a thorn bush.
Easing towards abuse. All right.
Yeah, so anyway, that was the last time Roger said anything other than yes sir, no sir when he told me to do anything.
That's not what I'm talking about. Maybe I've got it wrong.
Those are loud.
You know what we didn't do? We didn't let everybody know what's going on. We are actually recording at my parents' house. That's what all the background noise is. It's
4th of July weekend. There's fireworks going off. We actually just got done setting off fireworks. I smell like bug spray and sulfur. Is that what? Sulfur in the
brimstone.
Citronella candle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I smell like a citronella candle and a firework
stand. Right?
I smell smoky.
Yeah, so.
Now, there was a story about somebody stole somebody's bike or something, and then somebody made them ride circles around the house, like for hours or something like that.
I don't have to answer that. I do know that the bike was not actually stolen; it was borrowed.
Okay.
And it was returned. But as far as punishment, yeah, there was a few laps around the house.
So did you borrow this bike?
I did.
Okay. Who did you borrow it from?
Oh, my next door neighbor.
Okay.
Did he?
I mean, he wasn't using it. He wasn't using it. You know what I'm saying? He was just leaning up against the side of his house.
That's somebody probably threw that away. I'm just going to go ahead and ride that a little bit.
So I rode it for a little while, and then he called the law, and the law went over and
called the law?
Yeah.
So drinking and driving, no law. Picnicking, law.
and borrowing
bicycle
a bicycle.
thief law.
Yeah,
All right, we see how we're picking up a pattern here.
Bicycle borrowing.
And he worked.
Bicycle
He worked. Matter of fact, he worked out there where your mom and my dad worked at one time. Anyway, so he calls the law and tells the law that somebody just undoubtedly just come up in his yard and stole his bicycle.
Okay.
And he told Dad about it at work, and Dad was like, "Wait a minute, I've seen that bicycle."
I
You know
I
what
know
I'm
of this bicycle in question.
So he's seen it in the backyard.
Well, so what is the length of time that's happened from the time that you borrowed?
How long
That's
did you
right.
borrow this bicycle?
He had it for like a month.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It wasn't for like the afternoon.
No, I borrowed it for a while, but I was going to return it.
Hang on. Let me stop you right there. Once upon a time, there was a lot of big people. We'll call them, I don't know, McKnights. And they stayed in a house on a beach for Thanksgiving.
Oh, are you really about to go there?
So
I know where this is going.
this is my thing. There was some missing soap in question.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this soap wasn't borrowed. This soap never existed. But one person at this table who will remain nameless.
People are not going to know what you are talking about right now. You're like, there was people at a house and there was missing soap. You are not clarifying anything.
Okay. Our whole family stayed at the house for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right? And we were trying to pack everything up. It was a rented place. And you were asking about the soap that was in the bathrooms.
Yeah,
and I was like, there was no soap in our bathroom.
Yeah, because it was like, it's not like, it wasn't like it was a hotel or anything,
Right.
where people, for some reason, like to take those little bottles of shampoo and stuff.
Of course, who doesn't take the hotel
Stuff
shampoos?
like that, right?
You have to.
I actually do have a bar of hotel soap
Right, so
in our
everybody
bathroom right
does.
now. But that's not the soap thieving that I'm talking about. That's
No.
a different soap
But
thieving.
so you are a soap thief, is what you're saying.
But not
The soap.
then. I'm
Just not
the soap.
soap thief.
I took the one that I actually opened at the hotel and used, because if I left it there, they would throw it away. It was delightful. It was French mints. Is that what it was called? Had little balls on it, rubbing my beard. It was really good. Anyways, I told you, I said, there is no soap in our bathroom.
Right.
And you looked at me and said, well, there's soap in everybody else's bathroom.
Yeah.
You pretty much looked at me and said, you stole the soap and you need to put it back. I didn't take any soap. Let me tell you what, you took that bike.
I borrowed the bike. You can't borrow soap.
You can't borrow a bike for a month. The only time you borrow a bike for a month is when you go, hey, Johnny, I was wondering, could I borrow your bike for a month? Johnny had no idea who borrowed his bike. You stole that bike. You the bike thief.
But he got his bike back.
Yeah, after the law caught you.
So,
Oh, God.
I had to ride the bike back to his house. I had to ride it around my house, which I never understood that punishment.
Like, you want to ride this bike so
But it was
bad, you
laps.
ride this
It
bike.
was
You
kinda
go
like laps.
ride it.
He
and
made
ride.
me do laps around the house on the bike.
That's kind of like, getting caught smoking cigarettes, and it's like, you gonna sit here and smoke this whole pack?
And I couldn't drive the bike back through the woods how I borrowed it.
Because then you're a fugitive.
So, because he made me take it out to the road, down the road, and back in the guy's driveway.
Okay.
You understand? Which I never understood that part of it either. I mean, because that's not how I got it. How I got it was I walked
You
through
snuck
the woods.
through the woods.
and then,
You ain't gonna sneak
And
it
you
back.
had-
You
He
gonna
didn't want me
parade
to
it
put
back
it
where
back.
You had
everybody
one of them
can see you
beanies
return.
on
And I asked him, I said,
with the
can't I
holes in
just-
the eyes when you borrowed that bike.
Can't I just sneak it back over there? And he said, no, you're not going to sneak it back over there like you snuck it from over
Yeah,
there.
when you were a bike thief.
So I had to go back in and from the front and parade it in down the driveway.
Do you understand how much more expensive a bike is than soap?
You need to let that soap go.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I've learned anything from watching television, you never let the soap go.
Right.
We are.
Right. You take it with you. Never leave it.
Yeah. You never let the soap
Never
go.
leave the soap go.
In this case, you need to let the soap go.
So speaking of the beach house, we've got that same house again this Thanksgiving. There'd probably be some more soap there, so you might want to come.
We're going to discuss the hand soap every Thanksgiving for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to be Thanksgiving ever again without the mention of did somebody
Yeah,
bring the
it's gonna
hand
be-
soap.
I'm gonna be
Forget
65
the turkey,
years old.
the stuffing,
And
the
somebody's
sweet
background's
potatoes.
going to go, hey, where's the soap?
Did
Yeah.
somebody bring some hand soap?
Yeah. I'm going to be almost crippled. 80. We're going to go 80, 83. And, Reagan's going to have her kids and she's going to be like, you need to go wash your hands. And I'm going to be like, hey kids, you want to hear a story
tell you
about some
the
soap?
time.
Speaking of calling people out during recordings, and, I wanted to talk about something that happened to me that I figured it would be safer to talk about with
What
you.
did you do?
With,
What did you do that's going to make me mad?
witnesses. You know, not
Well,
because
that's a good
I...
thing.
You still have to go home with me.
Yeah. But I think by that point, you might have calmed down a little bit. Do you remember the lady?
What lady?
When we first... when it was the first, I don't know, maybe through episode 10 or so, she sent me hearts. Do you remember that episode?
She sent you some more hearts.
No. All right.
This lady don't know how crazy I am. She don't know
See-
me very well.
What happened
What?
was I was in some groups on Facebook. I'm always going to different groups and trying
I
to...
tell you about being friends with strangers on Facebook.
It's Facebook.
They're still strangers.
All right. I was going to these groups and I put the show out there somewhere. I don't know. And I get friend requests and I accept them because I don't really.
Those odd friend requests from very pretty girls that have no other friends.
Oh, I did.
They're wearing
yeah.
like bikinis.
Yeah. It's like, these girls want me. They don't want. They don't even have any other friends. It's just me.
They just want to be friends with
They just
just
want to be
you.
friends with me.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I get some friend requests and I look at them first. Like if it's something like that, you get a friend request, they've got 3 other friends. I'm like, no. And nobody on Facebook nowadays have only 3 friends. Well, I got a private message from a lady and, she sent me a special friendship hug.
What? What do you...
It's a digital hug. And my first reaction was,
I don't know who this lady is, but
I should delete this.
she needs to keep her digital hugs to herself.
All right.
Well, her
Keep the digital arms away.
Her name is Nancy. And that's how that works. If you contact me, you're no longer anonymous. Everybody's clear about that. Yeah, so
I will find out about it.
Nancy sent me a message and it's really nice. It says, it's a friendship hug and she's sending it out to all of her amazing friends. Well, I'm the only person I see on this thing.
There ain't no group message. just between you and old Nancy.
This is not a group hug.
So either A, Nancy don't have a whole lot of friends.
No more awesome friends.
B, I'm the only amazing one she's got. Or C, she was like, hey, I want to disguise
I
this,
really want to give
digital
Bob a
hug.
digital hug.
But I just didn't want you to find that and be like, what?
Like, me and Nancy's gonna have to have a talk.
Nancy, here's the thing. And I know that you listen. Katie's crazy.
I own it too.
Somebody just farted.
Here we go.
I think when you make someone laugh so hard that they fart, you're doing a good job. So I feel like this podcast is headed in the right direction.
That's right. So
Thanks for the digital hug, Nancy. We appreciate your listenership.
No more digital hugs, Nancy.
But I would caution you on the private messages to me.
No digital hugs, no hearts. Let's just say no private messages, okay?
So now I got a question for the ladies then. So what would
You
the best
sound
thing,
how lowest for
What
the
would the-
ladies.
what would have been the best thing for him to do? Would it be
Right.
for him to just get rid of it altogether and never say anything
No,
to
not
you
at all.
about that?
Let's pretend that we
Or-
don't have a podcast and I get a digital hug. What do I do?
Tell me about it,
Okay.
and I'll have a
And
chat with that
reap-
person.
reap the consequences? I mean, that's what we're talking about here, right?
See,
So-
it's not your fault that somebody sent you a digital hug.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help it. They
You're right. I
press
can't help it.
send. You're so digitally huggable. Should you let me know about it? Yes. If some dude was giving me digital hugs, I'd tell you about it.
You know what? I can't wait until we're like crazy famous because that's gonna happen. I'm
Are you
cocky
wishing crazy
we're gonna get
stalkers
crazy
upon
famous.
me? Don't
and
don't
not upon
don't
you.
speak that
I'm just
on
saying,
me.
when you reach that point, people run up to you, and I'm just going to hug them slowly,
Right.
tightly, just so they have a story. That'll happen.
Mm.
All right, so
Okay.
then I'm going to find out it's Nancy, and we're all...
Oh my God.
Nancy, you'll have to find some other friends to send digital hugs to.
She's starting to slur. Look
Yeah.
out.
Okay. We got to slow down for a second. We got to do something serious. We got an ad.
Do we really?
Yep. I want you to check out this pen. Tell me what you think.
That's fancy.
This is a nice pen.
Talking to the mic. We're on a podcast. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is a nice pen.
Not that close. You're licking it.
It's got wood grain stuff on it.
Is it real wood?
Yep. That is a handmade wooden pen from right here in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Is it made, it's made from trees that are from North Carolina? Or is it just made in North Carolina? Is this too many is this one of those you forgot to ask questions again?
You know what? I don't know where the hell the wood came from. All I know is it's wooden, and the dude made it, and it's nice.
And he's from here?
Yeah. Sure. We're going to
You
go with
don't
that.
even know, do you? This could have come from Japan, and
No,
you wouldn't
it was
even
made.
know.
It was made
Where
here.
does it say made in Taiwan at?
You got. I'm gonna get fired.
Kind of messed that ad up, didn't we? Looks good though. It's a great looking
No,
pen.
it's a very, very nice pen.
It's sharp.
It's really
And
nice.
I actually.
Can I have it?
No, that's my pen. I've earned this. No, I've had it for a little while now, and I don't use it because the pen is so expensive. I'm just like, I'm gonna lose it because I
You're gonna
buy.
leave it clipped to your shirt, and it's gonna end up in the wash machine like
Yeah,
all your
that-
other pens.
That happens. It scares me. It's like with sunglasses. I won't buy a pair of sunglasses over $10 because I know as soon as I do, I'm gonna sit on them or leave them on top of the car or something like that's gonna happen.
Your
Our
aunt-
children
I've never-
will go.
You guys
You
want to feel it? I've never had a pen this expensive.
You know, as soon
before.
as a child picks up glasses of any sort, the legs go just
Yeah.
out. That's the first thing they do with it.
You know your aunt does. She buys $300 shades.
that mess is crazy.
And I'm like, what? Ray-Bans, $300
Uh-huh.
Ray-Bans. What was that other pair of glasses she bought? Like $250, $275 shades.
I don't
It's
understand.
crazy.
Like at that point, like it should
Mine
come
costs-
with like a computer or something.
Mine
What?
costs $4 at Walmart.
No, I've wrote with it. Yeah. Oh, I didn't buy it.
How much do they go for?
That one I think is around $40. What was that face? Look at this pen. It's amazing.
I think
I've
I
seen
might
an
buy some
article.
expensive sunglasses before I bought a $40.
What are you doing right now? You're supposed to be. No, you got to tell the
We're
people.
not live.
Lean in.
That's why I wasn't leaning into the microphone. This wasn't for everyone else's benefit. This is for
We got to try this again. So there's this amazing pen company called Splintered Ink from.
that's a really awesome name.
It is.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So what's cool about this is it's made in America. It's made in Carolina. The guy's actually in the military. I mean, like it's got America written all over it.
Fantastic.
It
He does
really doesn't.
a whole bunch of other cool pens. There's ones that he makes that look like bullets.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's
What
all
is it
kinds
made-
of crazy stuff. What's that?
Are those wooden or?
I don't know. I'm gonna give you a link and you just go look at 'em. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna post the link to his page on our page, and you can go look at it, and you can go look at it.
Cool.
Everybody go look at it and go buy one of these pens. They are phenomenal.
They're really good for gifts. They're
Yeah.
really nice. Really
They're
good gift
really,
idea.
really good. So, just some of the points real quick. They're handcrafted, perfect for gifts and an occasion. So you nailed
There
it.
you
It's
go.
like you've read this.
Boom.
They're
You've done this before?
They're custom, and because he makes them by hand, there's no two pens are not alike. So every one that he makes
That's cool.
is original.
Fantastic.
He sends a free additional ink cartridge with every pen.
Oh, that's nice.
Felt case.
Have you ever had like a favorite pen and then it runs out of ink and you're just like,
Nope. I have never had a pen run out of ink.
you
Never.
lose them?
They're gone
I
well
have.
before the ink runs out.
I will find a pen I love and I will use it until the life is just gone out of it.
I'd like to find that room.
He has animal bone pens. Fashionable pens, handcrafted, reliable, ballpoint, magnetic caps, and then custom creation. So if you have an idea,
Oh, that's cool.
you can get with him and he might be like, look,
made out of
I can't make a pen out of human bones, but we'll work something out. We'll get you taken care of.
Right.
But it's Splintered Ink.
And why couldn't he make them out of human bones?
It's probably illegal.
Oh.
What if it was like your own?
Like, if you're gonna send him your own bones.
Well, I mean, I got missing fingers on my hand, so.
Yeah, what if... There you go.
I mean, yeah, go to something else.
So, like,
You leave that alone.
But this
you
is
have to have
going-
your arm amputated, and you're like, I'd like a little memorabilia.
Yeah, like a piece of that.
Can I have-
As long
You
as
know what?
somebody
If
can make
there's
a pin.
anybody that would do that, I would
Made out of
contact
knife.
this guy first. Maybe he
Fantastic.
will make you a human bone ballpoint pen.
Fantastic.
That's the only place you get them in the world. Human bone ballpoint pen, splintered ink. And you can contact him
probably
at
gonna hear this and go,
splinteredink@yahoo.com.
no, I won't.
I've done the fire 3 times during this. But seriously, you know what? He wasn't in the Army. He's in the Navy.
I think
Fantastic.
you said
2004.
military.
Did I? I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think you said military.
Fantastic pen, though. I like it. Yeah,
It is
That's
really
good.
nice, though, isn't it?
Yes.
That's really nice.
But I'm going to throw the link up, and this isn't really... This is me trying to go,
is there a
hey, this
website?
is a website? Facebook.
Oh.
It's all through Facebook. I mean, it's, it's I'm not mom and pops, but it's a local, like, he's building an empire. We're going to call it an empire.
Yeah.
You now have an empire, and Bob and Katie says so. You guys are missing out on these great empire pens.
Yes.
Go check it out, Splintered Ink, and you can contact them at splinteredink@yahoo.com.
Yahoo.com.
Yahoo.
So why was Riley mad at you?
Oh, my goodness. Our kids, they're almost 2. We're getting to that age. And toddlers, they get mad a lot over anything. But here in like the last week or so, Riley has gotten mad at me several times.
Mm-hmm.
For things that just really stuck out in my mind, I guess. Reagan, she gets mad at me all the time over, like, everything. Riley, he's a little more mellow. So when he gets really mad at me, I guess it stands out more. And there was one day he got mad at me because I told him he couldn't take his teeth off.
Oh, yeah.
He was pointing in his mouth, and I was like, what are you pointing to, baby? He was pointing at his tooth. I was like, are you pointing at your tooth? And, he's like, yeah. He was pointing at his tooth. And he was like, off. And I was like,
Huh.
I said, Riley, you can't take your teeth off. And he lost it.
Amazing.
Lost it. And started screaming
They
at
don't
me.
tell you these things.
Mm-mm.
You guys didn't tell us any of these things. When we got pregnant,
Nobody tells
like,
you
as a parent, you should...
how
you
to
feel like...
mentally... what do you do?
Have you ever told anybody not to lick the wall before? Because guess what? That's gonna happen. Like, nobody has
Don't
that
put
talk.
milk on your head.
The parents, I think, just lean back and go, they gonna figure it out. Everything they put me through is fixing to happen to them.
Well, and like 2 days after this happened, and like I said, it just is one of those things where I just had to stand there and kind of go, okay. 2 days later, he got mad at me again because he could not see his belly button. He was wearing like a onesie, so it was buttoned.
Okay.
Like a onesie or romper or something. Something that was buttoned like at the crotch. It was like a one piece. Well, Reagan, I was changing her diaper or something, and she was like poking her belly button. I was poking her belly. I was like, oh, belly button. And he wanted to see his belly button, and he couldn't lift his shirt up.
Mm.
And I was like, he was
Tragic.
like, he was standing there, and he was like, he was getting frustrated. I could tell. And I was like, what's wrong, baby? And he was like, belly button. I was like, your belly button's right there. And I poked his belly button through his shirt, and he was mad. He was like pulling at his shirt. He couldn't see it. And he got so mad at me. And I was like, once again, I was like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. Like, nobody warns you that the toddlerhood stage, it's like, some days, it's like mental torture. It's like, seriously, like, our government, if they needed ways that they need to get secrets from people, just lock them in a room with a few toddlers for a couple days, and they'll be ready to spill the beans, because like, to mentally handle, like, there's just some situations, there's nothing you can do. All right, we're just gonna ride it out.
Speaking of a toddler,
I hope it's got something to do with body parts coming off, because I had a story about body parts coming off, and I was like, well, this is fitting perfectly.
this is going to ease into that. So,
Okay.
we go to the beach. We go to Pawleys Island, which is not really there anymore on account of Hugo.
Mhm.
But this was back before Hugo.
Poor
So
Paulie.
we go to Pawleys Island, and Bobby's not quite 2.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's running a low grade fever. He's had it all day long. And we got it to break one time, and it come back, and he had a little something. But anyway, he run it was all day long. So 2 days before we went there, I cut my thumb. I always cut my hands. I cut my thumb, and I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't get any stitches, so it was still a deep gash. We stayed in Dillon at the time, and Mom and Dad drops us off back there, and the car has been locked up the whole weekend. So we come in the house, we put him in the crib, he's still feeling kind of yucky, still got this low-grade fever, and all of a sudden I hear his mother just screaming. I'm like, what's up? Go back in there where that... And he's having like a seizure, Bobby. He's having a seizure.
Ever tell you this story?
So I snatch him up and I said, well, come on, we got to go. And I'm looking for the keys and I'm holding him, and the whole time his mama's going, oh God, please don't take my baby. Don't take my baby. The next door neighbor thinks I'm taking the baby. Literally taking the baby. Not that he's hurt or anything. All they hear is, oh my God, don't take the baby. And they can see me. I'm coming out of the house, got the keys.
In a hurry.
Yeah. I'm running in the house. I go to the car.
Oh my God.
And with that bad thumb, I unlock the door and I can feel that cut gash back open.
How's that make your stomach feel?
I had a really bad cut on my finger a few weeks ago, and I understand the feeling.
The testosterone's bit, so I don't, you know what I mean? So I snatch the door open, I hit the power lock, she gets in on the other side, and I get in and I hand him over to her, and he's seasoned. The whole time I can feel him fluttering. Right, he's seasoned. We take off. And when I get to the emergency room, I get him back from her, cause I'm like running, she's still screaming, you know. I walk in the emergency room and me and him, without me looking, are covered in the blood coming out of my thumb. And the lady in the rear just freaks out and comes and snatches him from me.
The baby! The baby!
Takes him in the emergency room. I'm standing in there and there's a crowd of people in there and they're looking at me like, what the heck?
What did you do?
I'm bloody, they're bloody, and Kathy's still screaming. Don't take my baby. Don't. The lady comes back out of the emergency room and she said, okay, which one of y'all were bleeding? And I'm like, what?
So she probably went back there and searched you over.
And it's my thumb. It's bleeding. They let me back there and they got you covered up in a towel and they're pouring cold water on you. And the first thing he does, of course, he doesn't look at Dad. He turns right over and his mom's standing there and he just goes, you can't see, but he just smiles. The biggest smile a youngin' could ever give. And he gave his mom, and Kathy was like, huh? And then I thought she was going to pass out because she knew he was okay then. But yeah.
Hey, look, I just get hot sometimes.
It was the weirdest thing. But the blood deal, that leads you into whatever you were going to talk about there. But
crazy.
Yeah. That's a baby episode with him. But
I read a story online, and it's probably one of the most amazing stories I've ever read. And I guess it's like Bob O'Clock News, so we're going to put the music in.
Welcome to the Bob O'Clock News.
This man, and the story's going, I tried to pull up my phone a while ago, and so I might get some of the details wrong, but he committed a crime. And the crime was bad enough that he got put on house arrest. Well, he had a prosthetic. Every time we do an episode, people realize just a little bit more about how stupid I really am. He had a fake leg, alright? And they put the GPS on the fake leg.
Oh my gosh.
So the man was taking his leg off and leaving and committing crimes. And then coming back and putting the leg back on. So his alibi, here we go. You guys anything else? I mean, that's it for the end. We're wrapping the show up. So his alibi was pretty tight. It's like he hasn't gone anywhere, and it took him a little while to realize that that's what was going on.
Two fake legs.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what sucks about that is that whoever put that on his leg,
whoever was in charge of putting on the GPS
is going to get in trouble.
They're never going to live that down. People there at the office, they're going to be like, dude, really? You put it on the fake leg?
That's what I started saying. Why don't you just put it on the real leg? You know, the part that, yeah, but anyway. So.
Wow.
Go ahead.
The little bag.
Oh, you want to know what's in the little bag?
I mean, I've been looking at it for a while now.
What little bag?
Curious.
I've been wanting to talk about this little bag for weeks. Okay? Weeks.
Okay.
And Dad, I'm going to show you.
What's in the bag?
What's in the box? I'm going to show you what's in this little bag. This is going to be one of the most amazing things that you've ever seen. And the reason that I know it's so unbelievably amazing is because I saw the crowds of hundreds of hysterical people trying to buy them. Screaming children and mothers, upset fathers, trying to buy what's in this little black bag. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
Take a look at those. Now you tell me what that is. Describe it to everybody.
Well, they actually look like nothing. Well, I mean,
It's funny because I was thinking the same
it's
thing.
a pair of cherries with the stem, two little cherries, and they got faces on them. But this other thing's like a.
Was it a book? Is it a book?
It's a book, kind of, but it's got a hole there that you can like put on the top of a pencil.
Yeah, so when I was younger,
Pencil toppers.
that's what they were called. Pencil toppers. But they're not called that anymore. Do you know what they are?
Okay,
So-
you'd like to have a gander at that?
These are called Shopkins.
Shopkins.
Dad, we went to Fayetteville to visit Megan and Morgan. And Morgan goes, hey, we got to go to Toys R Us with the girls. There's this Shopkins thing. And I don't know what it is. I'm just like, oh, let's go.
So, yeah, at that point, you didn't know what Shopkins
nothing.
were.
Nothing.
You had heard it, but you didn't know what they were.
Right. And then we get there, and as we're walking through Toys R Us, we turn the corner, and there's about maybe 10 people and a table. And I was like, okay. And then they open up these little boxes, and they're little rubber, they look like pencil toppers. And I was like, this is what we came to Toys R Us for? And as it gets closer to 10 o'clock, which is when this big event was going to happen, people just started coming in. And before I realized it, there were hundreds of people in this Toys R Us trying.
They were after these?
After
They're
these
little,
things.
like rubber, and they have all different types of things.
They have
Food-
what they call seasons.
There's food items, kitchen items. I know them from Megan's kids. I've seen, they have like a collection. There's a roller skate, a cupcake, muffin, a blender, and they have faces on them, but they're little tiny pieces of rubber. They don't do anything.
They don't do anything.
And kids are going crazy over them.
They released a pack of them that day that had 3 in it, and it cost $15.
What?
Anybody that's collecting these, I'm gonna tell you a secret right now. I don't know this to be true, but I feel like it's pretty accurate. There was a guy, we'll say a group of people, it'll take a group of people to do this, that said, hey, I've got an idea for some cute little toys. Maybe we'll put them in the bubblegum machine. Because that's what this looks like. It looks like something you could have in a
you would
bubblegum
put
machine.
in a quarter
And then they were like, oh, well, let's just package them and we'll put them in the stores. And they were probably $2 maybe for a whole pack of them. And then people started going crazy. Right now, those people that started that company are sitting back laughing.
They are rolling in the dough.
To me, it looks like it's probably recycled plastic, some kind of plastic,
rubber,
recycled
plastic.
stuff. And then they actually formed it and metaled it and painted it. And, they put a little effort into them, but $15?
For 3 of them.
No.
Yeah.
Y'all wanted some father to daughter-in-law and son advice on, no, don't spend your money on that. Don't do it. Megan and
It's nothing.
Logan? Morgan? No, don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if y'all listen
not
to
Megan
that.
and Logan. Nope.
Yeah, don't do it.
It's Beanie Babies all over again.
It's always something, a
Yeah, it
new
comes in
fad, a new
cycles.
trend, and that's just one of the cool things right now. The kids love
But
it.
that's what the world
Our girls
does.
love
The
it.
world does that to you, and they'll sneak your money. They'll snake your little savings, and you can't stay on top when you're purchasing pencil toppers for $15 for 3 of them, and that'll give you some gas.
It's out of control, right?
It's ridiculous.
Here's my advice for you Shopkin collectors out there. If you have one of these amazing things that are worth money, sell it now.
Right.
If it's worth money right now, sell it right now. Because I guarantee you it's not going to be worth anything in just a few years.
Yeah. I have a whole box of toys that I used to collect from Burger King. But it didn't cost me anything. I paid for a hamburger and a thing of fries and a drink, and the toy came with it. It was actually a kid's meal, right?
And I never saw any of those toys.
I still got them. That was 20 years ago, and I still got them. They're still in a little locked box, and they're put up. I don't know if they're worth anything. Don't know if they'll ever be worth anything, but I don't have anything invested in them. My point is, buy them a Happy Meal. At least they'll get a hamburger and some fries out of it, and it's cheaper than $15 for, yeah.
I got one more story before we end it up. I thought this one was pretty amazing. Not as great as the Shopkins, because that just blows my mind. And I collect things.
Well, it's just another one.
Yeah, it's just another thing.
Things. Like I said, we've seen in our life, in everybody's life, you've seen things that were a fad, a trend that, after the trend is over, you're like, huh. Do you remember, like, there was...
That's exactly what you're like. Huh, why did I ever...
A few years later, you're like, remember that thing that was so popular a few years ago?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Christmas that the Tickle Me Elmos were like...
Oh, yeah.
The item?
I think they're still worth money.
Yes.
And, like, there were just stampedes of people going after these Tickle Me Elmos. It's just...
What was the other one?
The Hug Me Elmo. Did you see that one? And it looked like when you go to Walmart. This was just a couple years ago. I took a picture of it. It was some kind of Elmo that hugs your child. In case you can't show love to your child and hug them. There's a little toy that will do it for you.
Here, hug this.
But when you look at the box, there's like a kid there, and Elmo's got his hands out like this, and it looked like Elmo was choking that kid.
Right.
And they were selling them. When I saw it, I was like, "Is this a joke? This is a real thing." Anybody, just Google Elmo choking child, and you will see the box that this came in. So I'm sorry, I interrupted somebody.
Furbies?
Furbies, yeah.
Furbies, Beanie Babies. Oh my gosh, people were going.
There's still money.
How about
in
this
Beanie
one?
Babies.
How about, you ready for this one? Pogs.
Pogs. I remember Pogs.
I used to have books.
Those and those other things that you fed, but you wore them like a watch, right?
Yep.
Like a watch, yeah.
The little Gigapet things.
Yes.
I used to have one that was a dog, and I fed him, and I loved him, and he grew, and then I had to go to school, and Mom wouldn't let me take it, and when I got back home, I would pick it up, and my dog had wings on it, and a halo, and I would have to start all over again. He only lived through the weekend.
Right.
And then my dog would die.
Like, this company, they make this toilet. There's this digital pet. You feed it, walk it, whatever you do, but you can't take it to school.
Yeah.
And they don't live through, a full day.
What kind of animal doesn't live through a day of school? I have never had a dog in my life that I was like, all right, I'm going to go to school. And when I get back, the dog is dead for no reason at all.
I see him walking around with his hands down, his head was down, he's walking.
Like his dog died.
What? And his mama said, he's like, what? What's the matter with you? My thing died. What died? My dog. I was like,
oh my god.
Oh, I would be crushed.
Broke your heart.
I would get off the bus and run to the house to try to feed this dog. So then I started treating it like drugs. I was like, I'm taking this thing to school, and I would stick it in my shoe, in my pockets. I got to go to the bathroom, and I would get out of class and be in the hallway just trying to feed this dog so it would live. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Feds. I mean, that's all you could call them, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Feds.
So this last piece of news that I have.
Here we go.
This lady was driving. She's 29, and she drives off the road just a little bit onto a sidewalk and hits a 69-year-old man. She hit him so hard that he went inside her windshield, folded up inside. He's dead.
Like he crashed through the windshield?
Right. And then she drove home.
With a dead man sticking through her windshield?
Correct.
Folded up in the front seat.
Yeah.
How did she see? I mean, I imagine her windshield would be crushed.
Well, she gets really close to her house and then decides...
Was she drunk?
That was a long one.
That firework lasted a long time. I do believe so. The article said that at this point, they don't know how intoxicated she was.
How drunk do you have to be to hit a person and then crush through your windshield and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna
she
keep
realized it when she was about a mile from her house. She pulls over and starts screaming and runs away from the car. So the neighbors had to call the cops. They didn't know what was going on. This woman's going nuts. But she drove home with a dead body dangling from her windshield. You all right?
I'll have what she's having.
So at some point she's got to sober up.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you wrap your head around the fact, man, I was so wasted. I hit a man and killed him and then drove home with his dead body sticking through my windshield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you do with that? How do you...
Where'd you find this? Where'd you read?
Oh my gosh.
It's true, I promise.
I know.
What was she drinking?
Yeah, I want some of that.
Wow.
Crazy.
So we got to do the normal stuff. You can find us if you like the show at I did it again. thebobandkatieshow.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter. Snapchat is my new favorite thing. Come friend us on...
What did you say? Snapchat?
Did I? Snapchat?
Yeah, I think that's me.
Come find us on Snapchat. Snapchat.
Sounds like it.
Did I say it wrong or did you say it wrong?
You said it wrong to begin with.
I haven't had one drink all day long. I've had one drink all day long. I can't talk. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're not on MySpace. So, sorry.
Well, we could. Does anybody use
We
MySpace
could not.
anymore?
I'm not opening any more.
But can you even, go to MySpace and make
absolutely
an account?
you
You
can.
can? Like, people still use it?
Sure they do. Wow.
That makes me want to go check my MySpace account.
I just checked mine not too long ago. That's where I pulled that picture
I
from.
haven't checked mine in years.
Wouldn't that be a heck of a punishment for a teenager?
We'll put them on MySpace.
Yeah, take them off of Facebook and say, okay,
But
look,
you can only use MySpace.
You can only use MySpace.
Right.
Good luck. If you can make friends, then you're on the right track.
Well, they have Tom.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's Facebook.
Tom.
Or no, is that MySpace?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, go find us on Snapchat. And that's at Bob and Katie Show. Like I said, that's my new favorite thing. Like, that's one that I actually, do things with. At the top of our Facebook page, you'll see the link to Patreon, where you can go and make a donation to the show. Like, let's say that you want to donate $1 a month. You just put in $1, and every month, we take it. And we smile.
Very, thankfully.
Yeah.
With so much gratitude in our hearts.
Or you could donate $1 million. Anywhere in between. Whatever you want to do, no pressure. And as a matter of fact, we actually just recorded a bonus podcast for our patrons, before this one. So I think I'm going to put that one up after this episode. So you guys that are donating, we've got another special little episode coming for you. And, Dad was on that one as well. So thank you for that. And he actually told a story that when he started telling, I was like, dang, we should have put that one in the main episode. But, it's pretty amazing. I don't even remember what it was. What was the story
The bear.
about? The bear.
The bear. Roger killing a bear.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to hear an amazing story about an 8-year-old killing a bear, go to Facebook. Look at the top. It's pinned there, patreon.com, and become a patron of The Bob and Katie Show. Dad, thanks for having us over.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for having me.
you to our special guests. It has been a pleasure.
Thank
You
you.
fed us. You guys took my wife into South Carolina and had her smuggle fireworks back on the state lines.
That's
You
how
guys
we
lit
roll.
them. We got to see the baby's face light up when they went off.
Yeah, they just saw fireworks for the first time.
And
I was
then
excited.
scream when we wouldn't let them run over and play with it.
Right?
Riley
It's been-
wanted to, I was lighting I had a sparkler.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really fascinated. He wanted to
Sparkles.
I was trying to, let him help me hold it, but he wanted to hold the lit end.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, I want to hold that shiny end. I don't want the gray part.
And another thing he got mad at me about, I'm like, you're just gonna have to be mad.
What are you going to do? Anything else?
Had a great time. Thank you very much.
Yeah? Did I forget anything? What do we got here? BJ and Jill, Riley's
We didn't talk
mad.
about Shark Week. I don't know
We
if you wanted
didn't
to talk
talk
about that
a
this time.
lick about Shark Week.
You said you had a quiz.
I did. We'll have to do that next time.
Okay.
But we just got done with Shark Week, and I've had the
Sad.
most sleep that I've had in a really long time.
I watched the episode the other night. It was not really that great.
I'm just not a big fan. I
love
think
Shark Week.
they're amazing animals. I do, but I just couldn't watch hours
I
upon
could
hours.
wait. I could, yeah.
I just,
You did.
I
You
just-
did.
I just don't understand the whining and crying about it when they, you know what I mean? But hey, you stick your foot in that water, you're the visiting team. You know what I mean? So what happens is
Well,
happens.
it came on one night and I was in there washing dishes or something and you had sat down and I could have sworn I heard the guy go, and then we strapped explosives on him. And I turned the water off and went in there and sat down and I was like, well, I guess I'm watching Shark Week.
Right?
And then after a
That's
few
not
minutes.
what he said,
And it's
but-
not what he said. And I was like, wait, they're not blowing any sharks up. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. But I sat there for a few minutes going, this is going to be amazing.
Lasers
They are
on their freaking heads.
They're fixing to blow these sharks up and it's going to be on TV.
Right?
Somebody's going to be pissed.
All I asked for.
But I just heard it wrong, I guess. I don't know what they
Yeah,
were
I don't
strapping
remember
on the
what
sharks.
they
but
said, but yeah, it was
It
not
wasn't explosives.
strapping explosives to
I
sharks.
would have put money down that that's what happened. They were like, and then we're going to strap explosives to them and see what happens. And I was like, I want to see this.
That's a Shark Week show.
Yeah. This is
Into.
Shark Week. All right. I think that's it. You good?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.